Nope.
Rexa!
Yep.
Greetings, traveler. I will hunt you down,
Yep.
Let the hunt begin.
Yep.
Do me trade?
Nope.
Me go face?
Yep.
Me retard?
Nope.
Me am smart.
Yep.
Me summon Leok.
Nope.
Summon Huffer.
Yep.
Summon Misha.
Nope.
Another Huffer.
Yep.
Clear the board.
Nope.
SM Orc.
Yep.
Be nice to people.
Nope.
Turn 7 lethal.
Yep.
Play with mech.
Nope.
Top deck.
Yep.
Well played.
Nope.
Well faced.
Yep.
Me choose to go face. Me don't need to trade. Everybody knows that the face is the place. Me choose to go face. Me don't need to trade. Everybody knows that the face is the place. So if the face lays taut, me still go face. If the face lays taut, me still go face. If the face lays taut, me still go face. Give a fuck if you don't like me still go face. Me get bad curve.
Nope.
Taunt needs nerf.
Yep.
Loose to clowns.
Nope.
Unleash the hounds.
Yep.
Think till rope.
Nope.
Kill the rogue.
Yep.
Play around swipe.
Nope.
Stream snipe.
Yep.
Be the second.
Nope.
Rank 1 legend. Me
Yeah.
is new. Me never lose. Play
Yeah.
with priest.
Nope.
Play my beasts.
Yep.
Taste my steel.
Nope.
Taste my skill.
Yep.
Me choose to go face. Me don't need to trade. Everybody knows that the face is the place. Me choose to go face. Me don't need to trade. Everybody knows that the face is the place. So if the face lays taut, me still go face. If the face lays taut, me still go face. If the face lays taut, me still go face. Give a fuck if you don't like me still go face. Trade.
Nope.
Face.
Yep.
Trade.
Nope.
Face.
Yep.
Trade.
Nope.
Face.
Yep.
Trade.
All right, what is up, THL? We've got a fantastic Tuesday night bar fight for you. What is up, THL? We've got a fantastic Tuesday night bar fight for you here. It is going to be myself and Sage casting. We're just waiting on Sage to come rejoin us here shortly. And we have got some players getting into it, getting ready to get started. The Big Ted versus SKItLLeZ. Looks like our players are online. We are going to be waiting on the bands here shortly. And what we have right now is SKItLLeZ
Hey,
with,
can you hear
hey,
me?
Sage, thank you for joining. Yeah, you came in just in time. We're starting off, just about to run through the classes. So if you've got them in front of me, in front of you, can you run us through what classes are we seeing here from SKItLLeZ and from Ted in this legacy match?
I cannot do that right now. I don't have them right in front of me. I'm kind of a
That's all
little
right.
bit preoccupied. I want to join in,
I
so I didn't leave you alone.
Well, that's okay. So I will run through the classes then. What we have, SKItLLeZ is bringing Demon Hunter, Druid, Rogue, and Warrior. And on the side of Big Ted, we have Demon Hunter, Druid, Paladin, and Warrior. So quite a bit of similarities here. What do you think we're going to see as far as bans go from these two players?
I think I'm probably going to see warrior bands, honestly. But overall, I think SKItLLeZ is just going to beat Ted's butt tonight, man. I'll tell you what, Ted's got it coming.
Well, yeah, he did have quite a strong victory over over Bill Snyder just last week. So maybe he'll ride the hot hand, or maybe he is going to be just getting stomped with a measure of revenge for Bill from SKItLLeZ. Looks like we've got some bans in.
Oh, what are the bans?
Gonna let our players know that they can get started. So Skittles is actually banning the Paladin, and Ted is banning the Rogue.
I've got bad news, Ron.
What's that?
I I have to update my client.
Oh, okay. So it'll take you a little bit to join in. Well, just join in when you can. We're
Yeah, I
gonna
will.
have the big Ted is going to be on top, and we're gonna have Skittles on the bottom here. And they are starting off with a Druid Mirror.
Class is in session. Perhaps
Switch on over
archaeology
to the
could be our
match screen
subject?
here.
Describe it to me, Ron, in vivid detail.
In vivid detail.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second to update the player match images as well here. A Druid for Skittles, and we got Druid for Ed.
I might be
There
turning
we go.
into a robot because of the update taking up bandwidth.
Well, I'm sure it won't take too long. Just jump in when you can. But what we see to start off looks like Ted has nature studies and overgrowth and Ysera in hand. Skittles has a little bit of a different opener here. Looks like a slightly different take on the deck as well, with Bog Beam, Teacher's Pet, another Bog Beam, and a Lightning Bloom in hand. And turn 1 and 2, starting
That's
off.
a lot of removal.
Starting off with just typical Druid stuff, we've got basically passing from both players. Hero power from Skittles on turn 2. Ted is able to actually get the nature studies on 1 into a wild growth on 2, with an overgrowth in hand to follow. Ted's start looks much stronger than Skittles when it comes to ramp and what Druid wants to do. And of course, Ted going ahead with the overflow as soon as possible. Now his next turn, he'll have 7 mana to work with. Meanwhile, Ted not holding the nature or the guardian animals. We do see Skittles has picked up guardian animals, but only 4
Oh,
mana to work with.
curious.
Has the option though, with the Innervate and Lightning Bloom in hand right now, to actually get down a guardian animals if he chooses to do so. Could also be considering maybe Innervate out the Teacher's Pet on this turn. Interesting decision point, though,
So many
Skittles at the moment.
contradictions.
He's taking his time thinking for.
Sands of time run low. How curious.
Rope burning. We'll see what Skittles decides to do. And here comes the Innervate. Or decides against it. Very interesting from Skittles, just choosing to completely pass here. Just hero power and go face. And just wait for another turn. Meanwhile, Ted picking up a Teacher's Pet right off the top. Good enough to just jam on the board immediately, not holding that Guardian Animals, and Ted is going to play that Teacher's Pet.
I'm almost done updating. Sorry.
Oh, fantastic. Here, though, no hesitation from Skittles. On 5 mana, he's going to go ahead and play that Lightning Bloom in order to get the Guardian Animals to come out, and he rips the Guardian Animals, gets the Twilight Runner to draw some cards and remove the minion, and Ted with quite the high roll, getting King Mukla off of that Teacher's Pet. That's just a solid 3 mana 5/5, preventing Skittles from being able to clear it with a Lake Thresher attack, so Skittles just holds back instead. Now Ted able to play the coin to get Ysera down right now. Also has 0 mana Bog Beams to play. Well, 1 anyway, and is able to remove the Thresher with a King Mukla hit as well. Back on Skittles' side, his board cleared 4 mana to work with due to the overload, facing down a 4/12 and a 5/1. He's going to start off with a Crystal Power to remove the 5/1 Mukla, and not much else to do with the mana, just Hero Power, hit face again, and prepare for the next turn. Ted, probably hoping for Dream Portals, or something like an Overflow off the top, 5 cards in the hand. Does he want to just rip the Overflow for some Dream Portals right now? Looks like he's deciding against it, maybe because he can pair Ghidra with an Overflow on turn 10 or play Survival. Mousing over a Teacher's Pet and just throws down the Teacher's Pet and a Ghidra. Trusting that the taunt will protect Ghidra and he can just charge it up on the next turn. Skittles moving fast. Throws down an Emerald Explorer right away. Options are Crimson Hothead, Proto Drake, and OG Ysera. Takes the OG Ysera. And double Bog Beam is going to clear up
You
that
have
Speaker
legendary
Ghidra
skill,
threat.
my friend.
Ted going in with the well-played emote.
This timeline uses.
All right, and Ted just ripping that Survival of the Fittest. Goes along nicely with a top deck Dream Portal, a Chrono Breaker, was a 4/5, now an 8/9. And that's an 8/12, an 8/9, and an 8/9 on Ted's side of the board. Skittles is already down to 21
Victory
health,
is
only
yours.
8 mana.
You have
Just a bit too
legendary skill,
overwhelming
my
to compete
friend.
with. Skittles goes ahead and concedes. That's going to be game 1 in the books for the Big Ted. Just a really strong opener here from Ted
We already
with
got
that
game one.
Druid ramp.
Oh my god, I'm not even done updating yet, and game one's already
Not
done.
even done updating. Game 1 already over.
I'm so sorry, Ron. I'm leaving you all alone.
It's okay. Well, we're fine. I'm sure you'll be up and running before the whole series is over. All right, and we are into the next match. Let's see what we have. And it's another mirror. Look at that. All right, so Skittles on top here. I might have said Big Ted was on top. I misspoke on that one. Big Ted is on the bottom. Skittles is on top. And we have a warrior mirror right now between these two players.
Someone's gotta lead the charge.
And here we are, starting off. Skittles goes ahead with a Sky Raider on turn 1. Looks like Ted has a big warrior up against what is most likely a bomb warrior on Skittles' side. Remains to be seen exactly what warrior it is. The Corsair cache will probably tell us. Maybe not. All the pirates run anchor. Almost all the pirates run, or almost all the warriors run anchor. Obviously not Ted's version of warrior, having no real use for the pirates. Gonna rip his own Corsair cache, get a buffed Reaper's Scythe, and play
Almost
that
done,
Athletic
almost done.
Studies. Going with an Evasive Worm as the rusher. And Skittles, no hesitation, throwing out that buffed anchor on turn 3. Time to draw some more pirates. First one drawn, another Sky Raider. Meanwhile, South Sea Deckhand was the generated minion from Sky Raider, which actually has some application with that weapon up as well. Ted quickly equipping the buffed Reaper Scythe and clearing up the minion. Draw off the top for Skittles is an upgrade. Further evidence that we are most likely seeing a bomb warrior on Skittles' side here. Sure, he must have been hoping for the bomb weapon, but he still does get to send some pressure and damage Ted's way right now. And back on Big Ted, just immediately throwing down that Evasive Worm, clearing up the board again.
Oh, the update is complete.
Hey, all right.
Alright, I'm logging in. I'm logging in now.
The players are racing through the turns. We're on turn 5 here, but it is a warrior mirror, so I don't think we're in too much danger of this game ending
I gotta
before
say,
you're able to
I really
spectate the
like their
players.
style going this fast.
Say that again?
I really like their style going as fast as they're going.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Must burn them all.
Although I may have spoken too soon, because SKItLLeZ is now presented with a turn where he has a little bit more to think about, so not going to just rip
All
off
right, so
some
we got
plays.
Ted on the top, right?
Big Ted is actually on the bottom for the screen for the cast, and SKItLLeZ is on top. I misspoke when I announced the
All right.
first
Well,
game.
then I will have SKItLLeZ on the bottom and Ted on the top.
Perfect. Flip the perspective. Right, and SKItLLeZ mousing over the upgrade, interestingly enough, with this weapon. It would enable him to clear the evasive worm with his face, which looks like the plan here. Draws the other pirate. SKItLLeZ throwing out the coin. And just armors, not even going to play these Bloodsail Flybooter 1/1s that he had the option of playing.
All right.
Just taking it as slow as possible.
I'm starting to feel like you don't even need me, Ron.
Not at all. I just got used to casting back and forth with no one else talking. I'll slow down.
It's fine. So now we're gonna see from SKItLLeZ here. He's got a weapon equipped, and he's got a Horde Pillager in hand. He could swing, draw another pirate, but he's got a full hand of cards. He doesn't want to do that. He probably wants to go ahead and play something, and then swing, and then play something else. I'm not even sure what he'd want to play. Maybe. Ooh, he really has a clunky hand here. What do you do if you're SKItLLeZ here?
Yeah, I agree. SKItLLeZ hand is definitely looking pretty clunky right now. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen the Flybooters already just come down just to get something on board, to force Ted to do something to answer the board. Going with the Skipper, maybe we're seeing an attempt at some card draw here.
Oh my god, he's just gonna play the Flybooters. I love it.
There's a Sky Pirate to get some cards out of hand so he doesn't burn anything with the 2-card draw from Battle Rage. I guess another upgrade here then. No, just a final Sky Pirate just to not burn cards and clear up his own board. Ted with an easy turn 7. Just rip the commencement. Bit of a low roll there. Kargath is probably the minion in his deck he wanted to see the least. And SKItLLeZ with a Blade Storm, able to clear that up easily.
I am more to kill.
Following in some armor and passing again. SKItLLeZ playing very defensively in this game so far. And Ted now seizing the chance to go on the offensive. Throws down that Troublemaker, and here's 6 damage face with more damage and generation incoming. SKItLLeZ still holding quite a few answers. Brawl, he's
Couldn't he
mousing
just play
over.
Brawl here? He could also play Deathwing. Deathwing would answer this just fine.
Do try to keep yourselves alive.
Ooh, that's a good pickup.
Yeah, the Skipper, very nice to see. It may have been guaranteed. We don't know exactly how many pirates SKItLLeZ is running in his deck. But I'd say it was extremely likely to find that Skipper off of the weapon swing. And the Pillager, of course, enables the clear. He equips that anchor. I guess we'll find out if there's any more pirates in this deck.
Yeah.
Extremely awkward. SKItLLeZ just never finding non-weapons. I have to assume with Galakrond too that he is running bomb weapons in his deck. But I suppose there's just 2 hanging out in the bottom 8. Krasinov in hand too. Even more points to him being Bomb Warrior. Just Bomb Warrior with no bombs. Feels bad for SKItLLeZ.
Ooh, that's big warrior.
Ted, once
It's looking
again,
good for
yep,
Ted.
just rip that commencement, and that is an excellent pull from commencement. Getting the Scrapyard Colossus on the board with Divine Shield. As we can see, SKItLLeZ still has answers. Could always Blade Storm again, and then
Yeah,
follow with, a Shield Slam, I suppose, with the hit could clear up the other 7/7. Doesn't feel great, but a reasonable way to deal with this.
I do kind of want to see the Blade Storm and Shield Slam.
There's also the option to play Crocs, but it feels a bit awkward with Crocs here.
Yeah, don't like Kronks as much.
SKItLLeZ, though,
Is-
considering the Crocs right now.
I am unbreakable, but time is fleeting. You are too late.
Crocs does indeed come down. Using the Annihilation as a way to get through, just to push that extra face damage here. Again, that weapon swing
Hello?
will not draw any more pirates.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh,
Well, now you're starting to cut out a little bit. You maybe want to right click join. That could work. On Ted's side, Kargath Prime very nicely clearing up the Kronks on the board, gaining a lot of armor again, and finally, SKItLLeZ fighting his other Corsair cache, draws the bomb weapon, and now can start really going in with damage and putting bombs in the deck. Right, back on SKItLLeZ, or back on Ted's side, the armor gain is gone, mostly, for SKItLLeZ, so Ted sees the opportunity to just equip the weapon and start smorking right back. And now we just have a battle of two big things smacking their faces into each other. See who comes out on top.
Yep.
With each
Oh,
swing, we're
bomb
going to
right
see
up
more
top.
bombs input into Ted's deck, though, and that's going to accelerate his clock very quickly.
I would think that he wouldn't want him to draw those bombs straight away so he can get more, I mean, especially not now.
Ted, though, with the Bulwark, has a decent answer to incoming regular, consistent damage, because that 7 damage is actually just going to be -1 durability. These bombs that Ted can draw are also going to be -1 durability, but once that Bulwark expires, there goes a lot of Ted's chances. Finally finds the Rattlegore, which is massive here. An extremely difficult minion for SKItLLeZ Warrior to clear up. Rattlegore may spell doom for SKItLLeZ.
Rattlegore is a real grinder.
And Ted, once again, just losing a durability. SKItLLeZ equipping that other bomb, but it's going to take 2 more singular hits to knock out that Bulwark. And this is Ted's spot, it looks like, to exploit finding the victory. Blastmaster Boom, though, a big draw finally for SKItLLeZ. It was in the bottom 2 cards, but he picks it up now, and with a Brawl to follow, could just clear this up. Ted almost there for lethal himself. 3 off with just the Rattlegore on board. Corsair Cache does nothing, I believe. He's already played both of his weapons.
Oh my goodness.
And
This
we
is really
see
coming down
just
to the wire.
Sword and board on a bomb. Could knock out durability. Does. Sword and board on another bomb here. Probably going to see a shield slam on this Blastmaster Boom. And still, how is Skittles going to get this Radagor off the board to avoid getting lethal?
Armor made to fit. Armor made to fit.
Got some armor gain with the Armor Smiths. Comes Krastenov as well, just to buff that bomb weapon a little bit more. I gotta say, despite the armor gain, this looks like it's still very dire straits for Skittles.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, Skittles is gonna take 1 damage right off the top, and Ted has just a massive amount of armor still at this point. So 9 damage incoming for Skittles on his next turn with this 8-free Radagor going face. Ted drawing a bomb down to 22.
Skittles really hoping that the bombs just come a-flowing.
Dimensional Ripper. I don't know what minions are left in Ted's deck. Dimensional Ripper could be big here.
What now?
Ted considering what the best play is. Whether
I think Ripper would have to be the play, right?
going a little bit more conservative, clearing up one of these minions first, and then going with Ripper.
Oh!
There's no way to really deal with this board all that well. The Radagor, I guess if it is the one that dies, comes back as a 6/6. But if Skittles decides to brawl, he runs the risk of a 12/12 surviving. Doesn't really have any other options. Deathwing doesn't do enough.
Oh my goodness.
And
Wow.
a huge outcome for Skittles on that brawl. The 1/4 survives.
So we can get 3 bombs. 3 bombs off the top. 1.
There's a bomb.
2.
There's another bomb.
Oh! Oh my god.
And Ted dodges the other bomb here. Plays the other Dimensional Ripper. And he hits, he's just gonna lose the game without trading.
Oh my
He
god.
doesn't get taunts, yes, so he has to trade again. The Vargoths, though, this puts a ridiculous amount of
Vargoth
minions
might
on
be
the board.
his
Is it
only
just
minion
Vargoth?
left.
Yeah, the only minion left is Vargoth. This is just an
It's
absolutely absurd game. And yeah, Skittles with nothing to do but just, you know, play that
Just
Deathwing and go face and set Ted to 1.
I think he might as well just pass the turn, because if he, like, the Deathwing just doesn't matter this turn at this point. He just needs that last bomb to get pulled up the top against Ted here.
What? Out.
Decision time, Skittles. Could
I think,
also brawl. Might be considering just brawling.
yeah, I think the brawl is actually best here.
There's the brawl.
Alright.
No
It's
real
7.
surprise that a Vargoth won.
Oh my god.
7 damage on board, no bomb drawn. You know, Skittles is taking 3 damage on the next turn, so Ted is still going to be 3 off lethal. That's going to end it. That's going to be a victory for Skittles. Because there's no taunt. This hero power is going to get there. What an insane match. And Skittles
That was crazy.
finds a way in an unfavored matchup to take the victory over Ted and even up this series. A 1-1.
That was really crazy.
Completely insane. We'll see if we get another we'll see if we get another mirror here. Or if we can finally mix it up to something different.
I need more beer.
Players
I'm a lot of beer.
the players are starting up again.
Druid versus Warrior.
Class is in session.
Victory or death!
I don't
Back
know
to
the
the
matchup.
match here. So we've
How are
got
the matchups on this?
Skittles bringing his Druid next. Ted running it back with his Warrior. All right, and starting off with quite a bit of ramp. Skittles with an early Lightning Bloom overgrowth. Ted, nothing to do with his big Warrior yet, but just armor up. And we're seeing, do we get a dragon drawn off the top? We do not. So Skittles does not get the other ramp, but still heavily ahead mana gain. And there's the dragon off the top. One turn too late to ramp up, but still an excellent draw. Goes ahead and plays the dragon and gets the taunt dragon to follow up with an on-curve minion. All right, now Skittles back on turn 7. Decisions to make. Does he just jam the Discovered Dragon? We're going to see the Overflow just for card draw. Looks like Overflow is the choice. And pulls some strong cards out of the deck. Has the Broomsticks. Has a lot of the Guardian Animals, unfortunately, that he wants to hit off of that 7-mana spell. Don't know exactly how many beasts are being run in Skittles' deck, but
yes.
unfortunate for him, I'm sure, to see as many as he's already drawn. And just going to bog beam his own minion here just to avoid burning a card. Now back on Ted. Options. Play. Work wouldn't feel all
Sorry,
that strong
Mr.
right
Dragon. My hand is too full, so you suffer.
now. Exactly, yep, and that enables Ted to clear this up with a weapon hit and just a small amount of armor and shield slam. There goes the dragon. Right, back on Skittles here. Now out comes the evasive Draconid. And important to note that Ted still only with 6 mana to work with. Holding on to that coin, which will be quite useful to cheat out some things. Next turn, we could see the Troublemaker come down for Ted. He's going to have a hard time using that Execute on the 7/7, untargetable though.
Yeah, but the Brawl here is going to be really useful if he plays this Guardian Animals, and he does.
And there's the Guardian Animals, so still has 2 beasts left in the deck, despite all those beasts drawn. Strong board represented by Skittles right now, and we'll see if Ted wants to use the Brawl, a Deathwing, a Troublemaker. Coins, looks like he wants Deathwing. Here it comes. Most likely clear up. Well, those went in the right order, so it cleared up everything on the board. Ted even swings his final charge of the, or final 2 charges, I should say, of the Bulwark to clear up that 3/1. Maybe trying to burn the Broomsticks, but didn't know that Skittles has already drawn his Broomsticks. Sure, he knows now that that minion didn't draw anything. And Skittles, very quickly, ramping into 2 beasts on board. We're moving fast again. Ted once again hitting a Kargath off of the commencement. Literally the worst card in his deck to hit off commencement, which has now happened twice in a row. Not terrible, since Kargath is still getting the prime in your deck, but definitely had better outcomes. Once again, players moving at a breakneck pace. Out comes the 5/4 stealth, out comes the Broomstick. Here comes card draw and clearing up the minion, push some damage face. With the remaining mana, are we going to see Skittles just hero power? He does decide to hold back on the rest of the resources, send one more damage phase. Another commencement off the top for Ted. Rips it immediately again. And this time, obviously, no Kargath. Could have hit the Prime, but Troublemaker still a very reasonable outcome. 6 damage going somewhere. Really doesn't want it to go face. Not the best outcomes for Ted on those hits. This enables the board to easily just clear up Ted's board. Skittles in Breath of Dreams. That draw finds an Iron Bark, which could innervates twice to go back up to 10 mana. Getting cards out of hand as well. Looks like the Overflow is coming down. So clearing space. This is a Bog Beam to get the 6/8 down to 5 health. Easy cleave clear. What were you saying, Sage?
I said, oh my, and just all the way down to 1 card left in his deck already.
Yeah, Druid runs through its cards pretty quickly. And Ted now finally having the mana to play Dimensional Ripper. That's 2 Vargoths. It's a bunch more.
Oh my god.
Is Ted only down to Vargoths again? Okay, no. Those scrapyards right at the end, that is massive.
That is really bad for Skittles here. He was hoping to make one big fat final push and pressure him for lethal, but those scrapyards are going to get in the way of this game plan here. I think if you're Ted, if you're Skittles, then if you're Ted, you're sitting pretty right now. But if you're Skittles, you're probably going to jam this Ysera and hope to build another big board after clearing out this one.
Yeah, and Skittles opting to just charge up the Ghidra as much as he can. Get that Rush Wind Fury ability going. Now on an 8/11. Uses his Savage Roar to get as much damage as possible. Don't think we have any way through 4 7/7 taunts, though, to actually push any face damage here. Oh, I forgot about the Cleave. Of course, the Cleave can deal with the first half of this. So,
he's got to hurry up.
Done by Skittles here. That can still actually push through quite a bit of damage. The Iron Bark allowing to get through one of these 7/7s.
Did he have enough time?
I think he got the hit off phase.
Did not have enough time.
This is the 10 damage phase. This is probably going to lock things up for Ted here, because he knows the Vargoth is just going to cast Execute again. Although, actually, it might not have killed the Ghidra. Regardless, Skittles just opting to get out of this game. It went far too poorly at that point, and you can't blame him for just moving on to fight a different match. So that's another victory for Ted here. And that's going to get Ted's war run through. Alright, and the players queuing up again, lightning fast.
Class is in session.
They are way faster than I am when it comes to updating these images. Alright.
You're doing your best, Ron.
We trying out here. Alright, and now we have Skittles bringing the Druid again. Ted this time on the Demon Hunter. And keep Skittles up.
Intrepid Initiate, aka Mana Worm 2.0.
Intrepid Initiate, quite a strong card. This looks very clearly like an aggro Demon Hunter for Ted.
Oh yes.
And with the ability to Aug Merchant and Mana Burn, this is a very strong opener for Ted to push some damage. Skittles choosing to just get Ghidra out now. Spell Burst be damned.
Burn away.
You see the Mana Burn is going to charge up that Spell Burst on the minion. Ted gets to push 3 damage face, and he's going to use his hero power to clear up this Ghidra. Skittles now with only 1 mana. Not his favorite use of Broomstick, I'm sure, but it does clear up the damage threat for right now. Ted, very quickly, Marrow Slicer on 4. Seems like the play to make, and just push some more damage face. Aggro Demon Hunter, trying to Smork as much as possible. Skittles with only 1 green card. Figure you might as well play that one. Hoping to ramp, doesn't find a dragon. Got a hero power and hit face here. Turn it back over to Ted, who you can see might be able to go off with some refill with that Reader. Now with the Brawler draw, looks like 1 more turn before the Reader gets the full refill. Gets to jam these 2 minions out here and push more face damage. And Skittles equally quickly, just throwing down the Teacher's Pet. Ted, lightning fast as always.
Ted going all in here.
Yep.
And he's going to dump
all these
everything
cards
and
out of
play
hand.
the Reader.
The perfect outcome that you want as the Aggro Demon Hunter. Just get all your cards out of hand and play a Reader so you can refill 3. Not going to pay attention to that 3-2, just pushing damage as much as possible. Ted trying to end this series right now.
You possess true power.
We can see Skittles with the other Broomstick very nicely able to deal with this whole board because of that Cleave minion. And might be finding a way to stabilize, but is in a very dangerous range for health. You do see that Skittles is holding the overflow, which could be massive to get back on track here. Ted electing to clear up the board. Maybe sidekick the Adept, or maybe play Underwing. Looks like he's going to just get that Adept more health. Nice. Hero powers right at the end of the turn. Don't float that mana. Skittles, you know, just ripping cards as quick as he can. There's an overflow. There's double Bog Beam. Kill the 6 health minion. Draw some cards. Heal up. And things are starting to look like they are swinging back in Skittles' favor. But what's this? More damage from Ted. Marrow Slicer and a Twin Slice in hand. He's going to send all this damage right now.
Me go face? Yes.
Ted sees the smoke line and goes for
Yeah.
the smoke line.
That is a lot of damage. Woo! Oh, shit. That's E-Sarah. And he's going to taunt it up.
Yeah, and basically without Kane, you know, Ted is not going to have a real reasonable chance of winning this game. And with the Crystal Power that even plays around a Kane draw, this is looking rough for Ted. These cards in hand, don't know how he can still get back on track. That was just a immediate pass from Ted, right, on turn 9? I think he just hit the end turn button super quickly. A skull draw off the top gives maybe some chances. But no Ultras found, no Kane found, big taunts in the way. Things are looking druid at this point
You
now.
possess true power.
Another Skull, Battle Mage, and Battle Fiend. Still not quite enough for Ted, though he is in a reasonably decent range for health and has a wide board. See that Skittles just more taunts and a lot of damage now being represented.
That is.
Gonna deal with the biggest threats on board, take away the card draw, take away the highest attack minion. Ted, other skull. There's Kane finally. There's Albatrosses. Ted now has potentially his final damage push. Albatrosses can play everything but the Kane, one of the Battle Fiends, or Battle Mage, depending on which route Ted chooses to go. Just gonna wait. We're likely seeing a full Albatrosses turn next turn. But this might already be enough for Savage Roar. I haven't done the math already, but I assume it is. And, yep, the emote there. That's going to wrap it up. Very nicely done from SKItLLeZ there to find a victory with the Druid. Go right back onto this caster screen, and now it is evened up once again 2-2 as SKItLLeZ finds a victory with the Druid over the Demon Hunter. And all we have left, another mirror, folks. It's Demon Hunter versus Demon Hunter. And yeah, they're just going to get right into it. So let's just jump right back into that one. Here we are. Demon Hunter versus Demon Hunter.
Now you dare speak to me.
And this is for the series. The best words in all of Hearthstone, ladies and gentlemen. Game 5. With SKItLLeZ's hand, it looks like he's on the sole Demon Hunter, and Ted on the aggro Demon Hunter once again. See who's going to be able to come up with the victory. SKItLLeZ's early Chaos Strike to deal with the first Demon Companion. Also, very crucially, holding both Warblades for that lifesteal, and how SKItLLeZ uses that lifesteal and how Ted maybe maneuvers around it very likely is going to decide the outcome of this game. SKItLLeZ with a great draw off the top on turn 3, enabling a hero power and Panthara if he chooses. Elects to go with a lifesteal weapon instead, weaken the minion on board. Back on Ted here. Got an Og Merchant and a Reader with Twin Slices. So holding the coin. You see double Twin Slice, Second Slice now just to get more cards out of hand for Reader?
Oh, that shield on the mini Misha is really nice.
It is. It definitely frustrates a lot of things that SKItLLeZ would want to do here. He can't even heal hitting into that Divine Shield right now, and with no Soul Frags in deck, this top-decked Mystic is not going to be able to clear up the board either.
You possess true power.
Although Blade Dance, of course, much easier way to get through. Important use of one of the two Blade Dances here, as that can be another card that helps Soul Demon Hunter stabilize. Ted just going with the Tempo Cane, damage where he can. Got the second Warblades now coming out. SKItLLeZ just going in with all the lifesteal as quickly as possible to compete for board here and keep Ted's damage minimized.
Burn away to
Ted drawing that mana burn with the Reader, holding a skull. He's going to use that coin for nothing, just to get a card out of hand, so he draws more of the Reader, pushes a little bit of damage, just 1 damage here, and sacrificing that Reader into the final swing of the Warblades. If SKItLLeZ chose to do so, we can see that SKItLLeZ has a lifesteal card in hand as well, the I-Beam, that can just clear up that Reader as well if he chose to do that way. Also holding Lore Keeper Polkelp, which could be a tempo drop. Instead decides to go tempo 3-2 Mystic, and I-Beam does clear up that Reader. Back on Ted, just racing to play cards as fast as possible, both of these players it seems, as he goes with the Skull immediately off the top, discounts a Marrow Slicer, which is somewhat reasonable to see, 0 mana Umberwing, and electing not to play a 0 mana Mana Burn as well.
Alas, poor warlock.
SKItLLeZ, one good skull deserves another, goes ahead and rips his skull right back, and Definitely, I'd say a little bit better draws off of the skull here too. Discounting Magtheridon.
We just
Arrow
play
Slicer as
McTherapy
well.
here, I think.
Yeah, this could be real dangerous for Ted with that big 12-12 that Ted doesn't have much answers for. Now Skittles left to decide what does he do with his remaining mana. Does he use his last lifesteal weapon charge? Maybe equip Arrow Slicer? We expect the 3-2 always goes face, but what does he do with his remaining actions? Chooses to just get the Arrow Slicer online on the next turn to get one more heal now, and that is it for Skittles' lifesteal weapons. I expect he has one remaining way to heal in his deck, which would be the other I-Beam. Ted now seizing the opportunity for damage. Here comes Cheap Marrow Slicer, Battle Fiend, Glade Bound Adept, everything going face. And tops it off with a 0 mana burn. Makes Skittles' turn more difficult. Skittles, no hesitation, 3-2 goes face immediately. With that Mystic in hand and a 1 mana mag, looks like the play is clear up the board completely. Magtheridon and the Mystic combo. So now the board is completely empty except for a massive 12-12 on Skittles' side. And Ted down to a 4-attack weapon, 2 other weapons in hand, and a small taunt. This looks rough for Ted as actual lethal is set up on Skittles' side. We can see that 2-3 is not going to save Ted. With Kane in hand for Skittles, this is going to wrap up this series.
All right.
Skittles sees it, mouses over, and there it is. A victory for Skittles, sending some extra damage just for fun. And what a series. Congratulations to Skittles.
Just for fun, dude.
That was quite the victory and quite a breakneck pace, I think, from both players there.
Yeah. You want to get Skittles in here?
Absolutely. Let's see if we can reach out to Skittles and get him all. Got it. I guess I actually have to send him a friend request first, too.
I know, right? Me too.
All right, so while we're waiting on that, though, any comments on the match so far? It was going so quickly. I barely had
me?
time to keep up. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, it went really quick. I'm glad they went at breakneck pace. That's my favorite. It's just a blur of actions. It went back and forth really well. Went to 5 games. I mean, they could have gone either way. I know I was messing with Ted saying it's gonna be an easy win for Skittles, but it was clearly not.
Yeah, definitely not. It was hard-fought matches throughout, and really impressive overall victory from Skittles there.
Hey, there he is.
Hey,
How's it going,
welcome,
guys?
Skittles.
Hey,
Congrats on your win.
Congratulations.
thanks.
That was a crazy match. This is my first time doing opping, and you guys did not make it easy. I mean, you're going so quickly. I was like, oh my god, just
Oh.
trying to keep up. But it was cool to watch how fast paced you were with it.
Yeah, I think at times we were, or at least I was a little too fast, maybe. I could have made some better plays for sure if I would have went slower. I think there was one
Patience is for
turn.
the slow.
Say again, sorry?
Patience is for the slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but just a really solid, impressive victory. You started off in a bit of a hole, that Druid versus Druid, where Ted just ramped like crazy and kind of blew you out of the game. Um, the Warrior match was fascinating. That was insane.
Yeah, I can't believe that I ended up getting there finally. Ted finally drew some bombs and gave me the damage to just barely squeak that one out.
Yeah, you must have been a little bit frustrated, I'm sure, given how few bombs were in your draws, like through the majority of that game. And then also Dr. Boom showing up in like the second to last card. Just everything you were looking for was completely buried, but really nicely navigated on your side to just find a way to win in that game.
Yeah,
Yeah, you really squeaked it out, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a tight match. Having double wrench caliber and Dr. Boom in bottom 7 is not the way to win that matchup. I got really lucky on his turn where he went with the Dimensional Ripper too and hit what was it, 6 of those the 2/6. I can't remember the name right
The
now.
Bargoth?
Bargoth.
No, yeah, I think that
Vargoth,
was the only
yeah.
minion left in his deck.
Oh, is it? Okay. I wasn't sure if he had Scrapyard Colossal or whatever that is in his deck still or not. So I thought maybe he had another out and just whiffed hard.
Maybe.
The commencement actually pulls the minion from your deck instead of a copy. So when
Oh, yeah.
he hit commencement on the Colossus, I'm sure he probably was hoping to do the Ripper on Colossus instead, but once the commencement hit it, it meant that he didn't have it left.
Oh, I wasn't sure if he ran 1 or 2 because I'm pretty sure I only saw 1.
Ah, fair. Yeah, some lists run 2. I believe his list was 1 there. That makes sense. But yeah, I think that was the most thrilling match of the series, and I think wound up maybe making the difference there. Although Ted did get his warrior through against the druid shortly after that.
Yeah.
It's just a really interesting one, and interesting to note as well that Ted actually misclicked and picked not a taunt in his final turn of the warrior mirror.
Oh, no.
Fortunately for you, it wouldn't have mattered. It was the Rusteed Raider, so you just still had the Deathwing get through, and you would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
lethal anyway.
Oh, okay.
So it might make Ted feel better to know that despite that misclick, that didn't cost him the game. You already had the way through.
Yeah.
Anything else that jumped out to you though, SKItLLeZ, as far as like particular points in the games that were interesting, or so any general shout outs you want to give too?
Just with my druid gameplay, I have to learn to get better and draw ramp when ramp is needed, and not draw all of my removal spells. And then
Nice.
And then just a shout out to Lotus Knight for bringing me on to GLA. 2-1 so far. Hopefully I can keep the wins coming.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
big
hopefully.
victory there. Sage,
Well,
do you
good
have any
luck with the rest
questions
of your
for
season, man.
SKItLLeZ?
Are you feeling cute, man? Because you're looking cute after that win.
Yeah, feeling cute.
Well, who wouldn't be after, taking down a thrilling 5-game win? The hard-fought ones, I feel, at least personally, always feel like the most rewarding. So it's super exciting when you can get a Game 5 victory, especially on stream. And we really appreciate you guys both playing
What?
right after nerfs too, taking that risk.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised to see him ban the rogue after the rogue was even nerfed, but it makes sense with the decks that he was bringing. He didn't want any kind of hyper aggressive because he didn't really have an early game plan in his warrior for any of the hyper aggression that Rogue would have brought. So I could see why he banned Rogue.
Yeah, and when it came down to Demon Hunter versus Demon Hunter, it looked like it was probably going to be favored on your side when we saw that it was the sole Demon Hunter. But there were a couple moments there where he was stepping on the gas early, and it looked like he could be in trouble. Those two lifesteal weapons early, though, I imagine must have felt really nice to have. Those came up huge.
Yeah, it was nice to finally get a draw where everything just fell into place for one match. But in the end, it was a hard fought series both ways, and I'm hoping to run into Ted again sometime soon. It's always a pleasure playing him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and congratulations again.
Well, thank you again, SKItLLeZ. We'll let you go for tonight as we wrap up the cast. Congrats again to you and your team, and good luck to you guys going for the rest of the season.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Right, and then that is gonna pretty much end things for us as far as the cast Tuesday night bar fights with your first ever legacy match being cast. Please feel free to reach out to us if you'd like to have a match casted going forward on a future night. We'd love to, present, primarily Hero, but if it has to be another series, we're more than happy to cast another series too. And thank you all again for hanging out with us this late night. We want to run through some of the shows coming up for the rest of the week for THL. Sage, can you run us through what else we can expect on this channel?
Yeah, so tomorrow night we've got Hearth Center at the same time, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. On Thursday night we have Tavern Talk, and that starts an hour earlier, right? At 7 Central, 8 Eastern, I believe. And then we'll have Friday Night Fights on Friday. And I'm sure we got some matches lined up there. I'm not looking at them right now. Are you looking at that right now? I'm not.
Friday Night Fights always open to, just whoever volunteers. I think Arhat is actually going to be playing his match on Friday Night Fights, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think he's Saturday, I believe.
Oh, he's Saturday.
I thought he said Saturday. But yeah, Salty Saturday. I believe Arhat had said Saturday. I could be wrong. I looked at it briefly for a moment whenever I bugged him about it earlier, like, hey, have you reached out to your opponent? But I thought he said Saturday. Anyways, yeah, we'll be seeing Arhat at some point this weekend on stream.
You're right, that is Saturday.
Yeah, and so that's pretty hype. He's going to be up against Based, and that's a very hype match. And then we'll have Schoolstone on Sunday, right?
Schoolstone on Sunday, always with flexible times as well, whatever fits the matches best. And then coming back around, of course, to the next couple days.
On Monday, Monday we'll have Wild and Out at is it the same time as us too? I don't know. I haven't watched it. I gotta watch the VODs for these shows. That's
Generally,
what I gotta do.
9 p.m. is the typical start time for all THL shows. I think actually Tavern Talk is shifting to 9 p.m. because they made the time slot work for Desharmo, but with Desharmo no longer hosting the show, they can kind of slot in back at 9 p.m. But generally, it's 9 p.m. And then, of course, just keep an eye on the THL Discord to be notified in advance of when the shows go live. And then one last show, of course, to round out your week again. We come full circle with next Tuesday.
How could I forget about our very own show, Saloon? I just figured y'all all know, we just got done airing it. I'm sure if you're here, then you watched Saloon, or I'd hope you did. And and then we got Saloon on Tuesday at the usual 8 Central, 9 Eastern. So join us again next week. We love you guys, and thank you for coming and spending some time with us tonight. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks again, everybody, and we will see you very soon. Have a great night.